Welcome to today's news wrap up. Let's dive into the top stories making headlines today. President Trump accused Bank of America of discriminating against conservatives, which the bank denied. Yeah, we know it to be true. They claim they welcome all customers. However, several individuals, including General Mike Flynn, shared personal experiences of having their accounts closed without warning. The controversy has sparked a broader discussion about political bias in banking and the impact of federal policies like Operation Choke Point on various industries. Secretary of State Marco Rubio sent a cable to U.S. diplomats worldwide, signaling a shift in foreign policy to prioritize American needs. He emphasized ending mass migration, terminating DEI policies, and pursuing energy dominance. Rubio's approach aimed to realign the State Department with an America First agenda, focusing on performance and merit. Y'all know I'm all for merit. Target announced it is scaling back its diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI policies following President Trump's executive order to review such initiatives. The retailer will conclude its 3 year DEI goals and end its racial equity action and change or REACH initiatives in 2025. They literally call it racial. Wow. Target will also stop all external diversity focused surveys and change its supplier diversity team to supplier engagement. Costco, on the other hand, and its shareholders have defied President Trump's executive order by maintaining their DEI policies, despite pressure from conservative activists. At the company's annual meeting, over 98% of shareholders voted against a proposal to investigate the potential harm of DEI policies on their retailer. Wow, bunch of wokesters. Costco's directors argue that DEI policies are beneficial, yeah, sure, attracting top talent and fostering innovation, while critics claim they pose litigation and financial risks. Scientists have discovered a potential cure for hair loss by identifying a molecule switch that can be activated to promote hair growth. This switch, which has been dormant in humans and other mammals, could be the key to developing more effective treatments for conditions like male pattern baldness. The research suggests that long scalp hair evolved as a protective measure against the sun's heat in ancient humans. President Trump has terminated the taxpayer funded security detail for Dr. Anthony Fauci, citing the former government employees should not expect lifelong protection. Fauci, who amassed a significant net worth during his tenure, can afford his own bodyguard. The decision follows similar actions taken against other former officials, emphasizing Trump's stance on reducing government expenses. The U.S. Marine Corps have arrived at the southern border to support federal border officials in securing the area and stopping the flow of illegal aliens. Approximately 1,500 active duty personnel from the U.S. Army and Marine Corps have been deployed to enhance detection, monitoring, and repair physical barriers. This deployment includes units from various military bases across the country. Y'all know I'm all for it. President Trump declassified files related to the assassination of JFK, RFK, and MLK, fulfilling a campaign promise. RFK Jr. thanked Trump for this move, criticizing the government's long-standing secrecy and disinformation. The order mandates the release of these files within 45 days, pending Senate confirmation of key officials. President Trump has started his second term with a 57% approval rating, his highest ever, and has taken swift actions such as eliminating DEI policies and pardoning January 6 participants. His support includes 95% of Republicans, 39% of independents, and 20% of Democrats. Pollster Scott Rasmussen noted an improvement in the nation's mood and economic perception since Trump's reelection. President Trump issued an executive order banning biological men from being housed in women's prisons. This decision follows reports of sexual assaults by transgender inmates in women's facilities in states like Washington and California. The order is expected to face legal challenges, particularly regarding the protection of vulnerable prisoners and the provision of medical care for transgender inmates. Russian President Vladimir Putin claimed that the Ukraine conflict could have been avoided if Trump had been in office in 2022. Putin praised Trump as a pragmatic leader and expressed willingness to engage in talks with the U.S. on various issues, including nuclear arms control and economic matters. He criticized the sanctions imposed by both Trump and Biden administrations, arguing they harmed U.S. interests. Marilyn Manson will not face criminal charges for domestic violence and sexual assault due to the statute of limitations and insufficient evidence. The Los Angeles District Attorney praised the courage of the women who came forward, acknowledging their role in raising awareness about domestic abuse and sexual assault. Manson's attorney expressed satisfaction with the decision, maintaining Manson's innocence. The FBI raided the office of Joseph Molina Flynn, a former illegal alien and prominent immigration lawyer in Providence, leading to his abrupt resignation. Flynn, who was a municipal court judge, is under investigation for potential systematic abuse of immigration laws and possible cartel connections. Roger Williams University has removed him from their facility webpage. President Trump announced plans to sign an executive order to reform or potentially eliminate FEMA, criticizing its response to Hurricane Helene in North Carolina. He suggested that states should handle their own disaster recovery efforts instead of relying on federal assistance. Trump emphasized the need for state-level solutions to avoid wasting time and resources. President Trump signed an executive order banning central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, to secure America's leadership in the digital asset economy. The order establishes a presidential working group on digital assets markets to develop a federal regulatory framework and prohibits agencies from promoting CBDCs. It also revokes the Biden administration's digital assets executive order framework and aims to make the U.S. the global center of crypto innovation. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez proposed a plan at the World Economic Forum to mandate digital IDs for social media access, aiming to eliminate anonymity and combat so-called misinformation. The plan would require all social media accounts to be linked to a European digital identity wallet, allowing users to use nicknames but revealing their real identities to authorities. Sanchez urges that this measure is essential for accountability and free expression. Yeah, despite concerns about privacy and government overreach. Like they really care about free expression, right? A group of Venezuelan illegal immigrants was arrested after stealing $5,000 worth of sunglasses and leading police on a high-speed chase in Oak Brook, Illinois. All that for sunglasses? The suspects were charged with multiple felonies, including burglary and robbery, and are being held until their court date on February 18, 2025. The incident highlights ongoing concerns about crime linked to illegal immigration. An American and a Canadian hiker were shot and robbed by armed Mexican thieves in California's Jacuma Wilderness near the border. The assailants fired at the hikers when they refused to comply, injuring one and stealing their belongings before fleeing back to Mexico. U.S. Border Patrol agents responded, providing medical aid and tracking the suspects. Governor Gavin Newsom's administration disbanded Team Blaze, a volunteer wildfire response force, in early 2024, leaving Los Angeles firefighters shorthanded for 10 days during a deadly wildfire. The decision was influenced by a ruling that prohibited the state guard from accepting charitable funds for equipment and training, which makes no sense. Critics argue that the delay in deploying Type 2 hand crews could have been avoided if Team Blaze had still existed. More and more stuff coming out about Gavin Newsom showing that he's the reason these wildfires were so bad. A new recall campaign against Gavin Newsom is gaining traction, citing his mishandling of wildfires and governance failures. The group Saving California.vote argues that Newsom's leadership has led to soaring crime rates, high living costs, and a homelessness crisis, and I do not disagree with that. Newsom's office responded by emphasizing his focus on recovery efforts and dismissing the recall attempts as politically motivated. Former Obama aide Dan Piper and John Favre expressed concern that population shifts from blue to red states could weaken Democrats' prospects in future presidential elections. They emphasized the need for Democrats to rebuild their coalition and adapt to changing political realities, particularly with the loss of core parts of their coalition like Latino and Black voters. But I don't see them changing. Y'all know I spoke on that many, many times. I don't see them changing at all. They're going to continue to double down on their nuttiness. But Piper urged the party to rethink its communication strategies and address the ongoing trend of losing support among key demographics. But that's all for today's news wrap up. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.